Hi, so today I'm going to be doing a soil sample from just outside my garden bed, the virgin soil. I haven't cultivated this at the moment, and then I'm going to take a sample from the garden beds and just compare the difference. So we've dug down about 20 centimetres, so we're just taking a depth of 20 centimetres. I've got a plastic bag here to put some of my sample in to take a pH sample later on as well. So I'm just going to take a handful of soil, that way I can put some in our sample bag for later on.
Me too.
Yep. And I'm also going to do a ribbon test as well.
A ribbon test as well.
There's a worm.
Yeah.
So to do a ribbon test, I've got a small handful of soil. I'm going to remove any larger pieces more than 2 millimetres. Just feeling our soil, it does feel quite sandy. It's brown, maybe a little bit of orange in there. And there's also some small rocks, pebbles in there as well, that I'm just going to have to throw out. So the soil does look quite loamy. It does squeeze together, so it does have a bit of clay in it and silt. So to do a ribbon test, we need to add a bit of water to it and form it into a ball. I'm just squeezing out a ribbon. There we go. And I'll try to get one more. There we are. And we'll just measure those two. So the ribbon test shows them at 3 centimetres. So now I'm going to be doing a pH test on the soil that we've just collected. I've cleaned out my bench. I've got a solution here of bleach that I use for my bench. So we're just going to take a small sample from the virgin soil. So I only need a really small piece. And again, just get rid of any large pieces of rocks or clumps. Okay, now, so I'm just using the soil pH test kit. So we add the pH dye to start with. Just a few drops of this. And we just mix it around into a bit of a paste. And then we add the powder on top. And then after a minute or so, we should be able to get a test result. There we go. Now, and then we're just going to compare it on the colour there. So at the moment it looks at about a 6. Now I'm going to be taking a sample from the garden bed to put beside the virgin soil so we can tell any differences. So I'm just getting a small piece. There we go. So again, I'll add a few drops of the dye. I'll mix it together to form a paste. And add our powder. There we go. We'll just wait a few minutes. They look pretty small. They're looking pretty similar. I would say maybe the garden one, maybe a little bit darker than the virgin soil. This is the virgin soil, that's the garden soil. There we go. So now I'm going to be taking a sample from my potting mix. It's a native potting mix, it's Osmocote. I've got a sample bag to put it in. I've got the date, the sample, and that it's potting mix as well. I've got a spade that I've cleaned also too. Just making sure I've got gloves. I've also got a dust mask on as well. So I'll just take a small sample.
My bubble.
And we'll take that over to my bench and I'll test their pH. Just going to test the pH alongside of the garden samples. Sampling, doing a pH test of the potting mix. So I'll just add a few drops of the dye. Clean the end of my pen, so I'll just mix that together. Okay. There we are, and just give that a minute and we'll test it. So just assessing the results now, the potting mix that we've just done, this one here, is looking much darker than the other two. I'd say more like a 6 reading, which is quite neutral. The others are more lighter, they're more like a 5.5, which I'll say more acidic than the potting mix.